Good evening and welcome to our Community Engagement Advisory Committee meeting. Can we have an invocation? Mrs. Dawson, would you give us an invocation, please?
Our dear Lord, we come tonight to give you thanks and praise for this day. And we pray, Lord God, that you would be with us as we carry on this community engagement meeting tonight. Help us to make decisions that would be right and pleasing in your sight and that would be beneficial to our community. In Jesus' name, amen.
Amen.
Welcome to, we have some members, some new members that I need to welcome tonight. Mr. Frank Claiborne is one of our new members.
You want me to stand up or anything?
Wave your hand. we also have Pastor Chris Phillips and Bishop Will J. Smith Jr., who are not with us, but they're also new members. So welcome, Mr. Claiborne. Committee reappointments.
Yes, for those of you that have your reappointment sheets, your terms are expiring. If you would just fill those out, and if you could before you leave tonight or before May 18th, let me know if you would like to serve another 3-year term, because your appointments will expire as of June 30th, 18. So just wanted to give you a courtesy reminder to take care of that for Ms. Carmen.
Okay. And we are not doing the adoption of the agenda or the approval of the minutes because we do not have a quorum. So the planning board update we can do.
Before we do
Horner.
that, can we find out a little bit about our new members?
Oh, sure.
You know? Frank, would you tell us a little bit about yourself?
Really, Steve, you really want to know? Yeah. My name's Frank Claiborne. Spent 22 years in the Marine Corps. Retired and went into supply chain management. Worked for some big companies, including FedEx, Sears Catalog, a couple of large trucking companies. And toward the end of my civilian career, I worked for the United States Army as a contractor, and especially called Combined Arms Training Packet modules. I used to write those for the Army. So, and then I decided one day to get up. After I got out of bed, I said, you know, I'm not going to get out of bed anymore. So I became a full-fledged retiree. So I promised myself I would come over here and take care of my neighborhood, and that's what I'm doing.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you.
And thank you for sharing with us. If you all wouldn't mind, while we're doing this, if you would go around and introduce yourselves to Mr. Claiborne. And let's see, do you know everybody, Mr. Claiborne?
Some of the women I don't remember.
Okay.
I got bad memory on women. I don't know what it is. I met you.
Sure. I'm Michael Onifer. I'm here on behalf of the Chamber Leadership Program. And I do some marketing locally here in Jacksonville, but I also direct a missions organization that focuses a lot on leadership development and job creation, and we're about 5 continents.
Thank you.
Okay. I'm Pamela Trafton, Community Engagement Coordinator here with the City of Jacksonville.
I met you before, haven't I, man?
Yes, sir.
I am Tracy Jackson, Community Engagement Manager here with the city.
I'm well aware of you, ma'am. Thank you.
Yes, sir.
I'm Gordon Marshall, member. Oh.
Steve Forney, been here since about 95 or 96. Retired Marine, but then I also retired from Coastal Carolina Community College. So I'm a full-fledged retiree. And kind of provide a little bit of corporate memory on different things that have actually happened. And also a member of the planning board.
Paula Jones, and I'm a member, and right now I am vice chair of this. I'm still getting used to this new name, Community Engagement Advisory Committee. And I'm a retired educator and love Jacksonville. This is home. Love Jacksonville. So I'd like to know what's going on in my community. That's why I try to stay on this board.
You know me, Lily Gray, staff liaison to the Community Engagement Advisory Committee.
Ma'am?
Brian Jackson, City Council, City of Jacksonville, liaison from the City Council.
Yes, sir.
And if you don't know me by now, you will never know me.
I have seeking suspicion.
I'm Betty Dawson.
How you doing, Betty?
I'm good. I'm a retired educator for more than 30 years, and I'm a retired tutor right now. No. I am an active tutor in a local school right now on Belfork Road. And I'm happy to be on the Community Engagement Advisory Committee.
Thank you, Ms. Dawson.
What's the meaning? Was that a different name last
Yeah,
time?
that's a
Yes,
different
we
name.
reorganized.
Oh.
And I'll give you an update on that at a later time. But now that Gordon Marshall has joined us, we can go back and officially adopt the agenda in the minutes.
Oh, you
We have a
sure
quorum now.
can. Thank you, Gordon. So as far as the adoption of the members,
Agenda.
of the agenda, I'm sorry, not the members, the agenda, I'd like to make a motion to adopt or amend the agenda as is.
Motion to adopt the agenda.
Second.
Second?
Second.
The motion is carried. The agenda is adopted.
Gotta ask all of them.
Oh,
All in
Can
favor?
can I ask, I'm new at this part of it,
That's okay.
you guys. So, all those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
All those opposed?
Yeah, the motion.
The motion carries.
The motion carries,
So now
Agenda
the
is
agenda has been adopted. Now can we move down to the approval of the minutes? I'd like to ask if anyone has a motion to adopt, correct, or reject the minutes.
I motion that we adopt the minutes as written.
Second?
Second.
Can we vote? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
All opposed? So the minutes have been approved. Thank you. Now back to Steve. It's like a commercial.
What I do at each meeting is give an update on what's happened at the planning board. And for those that aren't aware, the planning board only convenes if something is an exception to what the existing code is. So an update of the meeting we had on March 12th was a text ordinance, and it was provided by a builder, and it was to eliminate a number of 21 maximum dogs at a facility. And what that meant was, whether it be a veterinary office or one of the daycare things, somewhere way back in the codes, there was a number of 21. So we, as a planning board, recommended to council that that be stricken from the text. And the other was a simple ordinance, also a text type of thing, to change a piece of property into a more realistic code. And that also was provided to council. We did have an off-agenda item that we discussed, and that was actual building signage. What is the correct ratio, percentage? Some of the buildings you see have signs that cover their entire frontage. Or what they've done is they've covered their windows entirely with signage. And there's a little bit of a safety factor there, in that it's much better if a patrol officer in a car can drive by and actually see in a little bit when windows are present. So they're working on that. There's been no 100% decision at this point. Now, our meeting on 9 April, that was canceled. There were no agenda items. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you for that update. Community engagement, Ms. Lily?
Yes, just a few items to give you an update on. First will be our Office of Livable Neighborhoods update. If you could change the slide. Just want to remind you that we do have an Office of Livable Neighborhoods, and as you remember, one of our primary functions was engaging older neighborhoods and residents in older neighborhoods. And so it's a citizen engagement activity, which is part of this Community Engagement Advisory Committee's area of interest. It is designed to provide effective communication two ways, between the city providing information to citizens and the citizens providing information back to the city, and then staff working to respond in an appropriate manner. All of this is designed to enrich the quality of life in the neighborhood and build strong neighborhoods, particularly our older ones that so oftentimes feel like they're not getting the same level of attention as some of the newer neighborhoods. Next slide. I don't know what that is. Next slide. Oh, okay. Sorry.
It's flying
When I
in.
saw it, it was all there. This, keep going, Tracy. This is just, keep going, keep going, keep going, keep going, keep going. Right, one more, 2 or 3 more. 1, 2, 3. Okay, back up. Okay. What this is, I need to change that. It's just to show you how Office of Livable Neighborhoods is set up. Our office, and that's me, myself, Tracy, and Pam, basically serve as the front door for neighborhoods to engage with the city. They bring issues and concerns to us. We in turn bring an appropriate response from the various departments: code enforcement, utilities, transportation, street sanitation, recreation, and so on and so forth. And so when we're going out to engage them, one of the things that we do is survey the neighborhoods to try to assess what area or what department is going to have the most interaction with the neighborhood based on the concerns that this particular neighborhood may be experiencing. And so our job is to coordinate that response in more of an effective and efficient manner. Provide basically one stop where they can call us to help address those. Next slide.
Like phone booths
Like phone booths, yes,
that
ma'am.
don't have any equipment.
So you may recall, we initially started with 2 neighborhoods as a pilot, Bayshore Estates and Belfort Homes. We now have enough experience and we're ready to move forward with our next neighborhood and looking at some data and assessing neighborhood conditions. We had about 3 neighborhoods that we thought would be good to move forward in, and it was decided after talking with staff and management and other departments that the Overbrook neighborhood would be our next neighborhood. This is off of Marine Boulevard. It's adjacent to Phillips Park and runs along Richlands Avenue. It's the last street.
Oh, okay.
And this is designed to address residential areas at this point, not so much commercial. That's why the commercial zones around it are not colored. But we will have a neighborhood meeting, and I didn't put this on the screen, Thursday night, this week, April 26th, at 6:00 p.m. And that will be held at the DAV building, 300 Roosevelt Road. And we have sent notices to the neighbors, so they've already been invited.
Oh.
And we will have a presentation on what it means and the benefits of registering as a neighborhood and organizing as a neighborhood. And we'll have a few staff presentations on some exciting things that are going on near that neighborhood. And again, we'll take a survey. And if the neighbor, and this is all voluntary, if the neighbors are not interested, we don't force it. If a significant number of them would like to participate, then we move to the next step. So this initial meeting is informational in nature. And if they decide, then we'll move forward. So that's what I had on the Overbrook neighborhood. I also wanted to mention, Steve had asked about any updates on New River. Not so much. We still hear it's in a transition period with ownership. It's may change owners again. Tracy can give you a few updates on just what we've been doing in that neighborhood, and I'll turn that part over to her for just the New River update at this point, Tracy.
And that actually has to do with the town center.
Town Center Apartments, yes.
Okay, so we have acquired owner's authorization, giving us permission to go in and demolish 2 of the duplexes that are in that area, especially the one in the main corridor on Hargett Street. That one has started the process for demolition. And also the one next to the school on New River Drive, that's vacant. It's 333 New River Drive. That one also is going to be demolished. So those demolitions have been scheduled, and we're working through all of our preliminary work as far as testing and all of that, but they are on our schedule to be demolished.
So you've actually been able to get in contact with the most current ownership group,
Yes,
So far.
yes. And we
or
want
at least with their lawyers.
Yes, and it does take time because they have to go up their management chain to even sign off on these documents. So we did get this approved, and so we will move forward, as Tracy said. I also wanted to share with you, I sent a survey out this with your meeting notification. And also in your package, we have our community engagement opportunities plan. And what we have done, and you don't have to make a decision on this tonight, but I would like you to take this home. And as you know, it has the mission on here. Our purpose is to advise and assist the city on matters of community engagement. And this includes identifying opportunities to enhance communications and engaging with citizens. So as far as your role, this is an opportunity for you to take a look at what we're currently doing as far as community engagement strategies, some ideas for new ways that we can inform citizens, and some ideas of new ways to involve citizens. So this talks about what we're currently doing in those areas, and then it's an opportunity for you to provide feedback. Is there anything else we should be doing, shouldn't be doing? That's what the survey is about. This will then become our work plan for the next fiscal year for FY19. So we actually will come back when our next meeting is August? No, we got another meeting. June. I'm sorry, I'm jumping ahead. Our next meeting in June, we will have this on the agenda. That will have given you time to digest it, complete the survey. We'll have the survey results, and then work on finalizing this draft work plan. We like to try to have something to do, or several things to do every quarter of the next fiscal year. And your input is important to us developing that strategy. Because one of the things we hear is no matter what we do, citizens don't know what we're doing. And so, you know, if there's something we're not doing and we can be more creative, we know things change, that's helpful. And then also like to know where you see your role in helping to help educate the community, how you can be more involved beyond the meetings. If you have any ideas for your interaction, your advocacy, your voice, and how that can be used in the community. So that's what that's about, and we just ask you to take that and read it, and if you have any questions, yes, Mr. Claiborne?
Just one question. If you have an idea or a thought, how do you express it? Do you put it on an email and send it to you?
Yes, you can do that. Please email your thoughts back to me. You can even, this is sent to you as a Word document. For those who can, you can mark it up and send it back, or you can email me your comments, and that'll be fine. Everything is numbered, bullets, so it should be easy to follow. Okay. That's the update from the community engagement side of the house. Okay.
Community Development Subcommittee, Ms. Tracy.
Okay, so speaking with Lily, I am going to be asking original members of the CDAC committee to participate in a subcommittee so that we can get some ideas and some work plans approved by you all based on our schedule of funding and what HUD is going to allocate to us. So that will be email forthcoming. It's going to be during the day, and hopefully I can pick some times that will accommodate most of the subcommittee. Okay.
And what I would share is that we have not as of yet received our notice of how much funding we're going to receive for next year. So we have been told that the budget's been approved. We know it's coming. About 2 weeks ago, we were told we would get our allocation. We still haven't. Once we have our allocation, then we will begin the public notification process. The draft action plan will be published. And then, of course, you remember we have to go before City Council for public hearing. During that 30-day window is the time we would like to have Tracy sit down with the subcommittee, go over the action plan, look at the numbers once we have them, and provide your feedback.
What year are we in the 5-year plan?
This is the last year of the 5-year plan. That's a good question.
So there's going to be an addition.
A whole
Once we get the funding, we'll approve the 1-year plan, and then somebody will start working the 5-year plan.
The
Yes.
5-year consolidated plan.
And
Okay.
Steve's been here long enough to know that. And we have to do a comprehensive
Yes.
5-year
Yeah.
consolidated plan
Yeah.
every 5 years. And that basically is projecting out over 5 years what we think our community needs are going to be, and establishing priorities, and we do that.
Long time in the
That's a
technology
long time.
era.
Yeah.
Very long time.
Yeah, things change, and we know they change, and even though we adopt a plan, we can amend the plan. But it's our time of the year to do our comprehensive citizen involvement and community engagement input to find out what the pressing needs are in the city and how we should look to use our funds going forward. So that will probably start in about September, October-ish, maybe a little earlier. We get started because that takes a little longer to put together than the 1-year plan.
And no matter how technologically advanced we are, HUD still wants a document that is as large
Paper
as
trail.
one of the old Sears catalogs.
I sit on the HUD board, so I know, yes, you're right.
Yeah. So that is coming. Thank you, Steve.
Okay, so as Lily mentioned, we were in our 2018-19 annual action plan process, and during that time, we're going to have our public hearing after we complete the final version of the plan. We're going to have a public hearing that's going to be held at City Council meeting on June 19th. And then after that, we're going to be submitting that plan to HUD. Okay, so projects updates. Wanted to report that we're in the process of purchasing in the Overbrook neighborhood, 211 Sherwood Road. So we're going to add that to our inventory. We also own 208 Queens Road and 308 Sherwood Road. So we have already invested some CDBG funding in that area. We also, we mentioned the demolitions that we have, the 2 duplexes for the Town Center Apartments. And also, we have a structure on Lejeune Boulevard. And wanted to report that the 1718 Hargett Street demo has been completed. We also have rehabs coming up. Three clients have been chosen with a chance to partner with Coastal Community Action for a grant collaboration to use the Essential Single Family Rehab Loan Pool funds from the North Carolina Housing Finance Agency. So we're going to be partnering with Coastal Community Action to bring some rehab assistance to the citizens here in Jacksonville. In our housing initiative that's going to be expanding to our new Overbrook area, we have 2 homeowners that have been pre-qualified. So we're going to begin the planning process of selection of lots and house plans. So as soon as we get those finalized, we'll be able to give you an update on that. And finally, just want to let you all know that the boardwalk that's in our neighborhood revitalization strategy area in Newberry and Ford Street. We're doing that connectivity for that boardwalk. It's going to be leading to Sturgeon City. It was a disconnect at one time, but now we have completed the project, and now people will be able to access that boardwalk and more safely. So we are excited about having that project complete as well.
Where does it, I know it ended behind Thompson School, right?
Yes, it had a fence
There was
there.
a fence there from the
So the fence-
old fence from the
right.
neighborhood.
So just to give you a slight visual, it stops right there at that,
Bus stop.
well, it's going to stop at the road from Newberry Street, and then you're going
Okay,
to be able to
curves
get out
around,
of the car
okay.
and walk down to that boardwalk. And when it's finished, we'll be able to show you some pictures the next time that we meet.
Oh, okay. I saw the heavy equipment from the street, from Kerr Street. I could see the heavy equipment down there, but I just I didn't go down there to see what was going on, but okay.
Yeah.
That's one of my walking,
Well, now you'll be able to
trails
get
went,
the-
Is that going to go all the way down to the kayak launch?
It's going to go all the way to Sturgeon City.
Surrey City, and there you can get on the kayak launch.
okay.
So we're excited about that. And I think that's all I have.
That's neat.
Oh, I just wanted to make one announcement. Our next homebuyer education course will be held May 19th. If anybody would like to attend, make sure you call 910-938-5286. It's $10 per person for the class, and you'll get a wealth of knowledge of learning the process of home ownership.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you, ma'am. one city,
Yeah.
our city, my city moment.
Yeah, this is the time on the agenda where if you have a one city announcement or anything you've observed over the last 2 months that you would like to share, you can do so. This month, we would like to highlight, if you can just go through a few pictures. During spring break, we had our youth council. They came up with the idea of going into the Belfort neighborhood and helping some senior citizens with some yard work. And this particular lady, she had leaves in her yard quite thick. And we had some residents from Belfort Homes come out along with staff from community engagement and the youth council and work for a couple hours cleaning up the yard. So we want to just say this is a type of one city thing where you neighbors taking care of neighbors, doing something kind for someone that may not be able to do it for themselves. It's one example. Our youth getting engaged and being good civic leaders,
That's great.
servant leadership in action.
My pastor's been walking around with her third child, the trophy.
Oh, yes, I gotta get my trophy tomorrow.
That has been, that has been.
I think our 2 weeks are up.
2 weeks are up.
2
after
weeks are
tomorrow.
up. So it has been really something.
Yes, we gotta
Yeah,
rotate that
very
among
proud.
about 15 different pastors get to.
I'll say another one city moment. Youth Council just partnered with Guardian Ad Litem this past Friday at the 3rd Annual Children's Carnival, which was geared towards awareness for child abuse. So we actually put together one city boards and had the kids sign it. So the difference that we did with our boards, we put balloons on them and only had the kids to be able to sign them. And we ended up with 3 full boards of different colored signatures, all from pretty much 1-year-olds that could walk up to a board to sign their name, all the way up to teenagers to sign.
That's great. Y'all have them?
Yeah,
Are they on display so we can
You
see?
can, they're in her office.
I can
Oh,
grab them afterwards and
Okay,
bring them up.
Thank you, Pam, for that.
that is nice.
Any others anybody would like to share?
Well, I will share one. Last month, a proclamation was done for Mr. Frank Marshall.
Oh,
He turned 95. He was
Oh,
a
wow.
longtime resident of the Georgetown community, still very active with Eden View Missionary Baptist Church. And there are photos of Mr. Frank dancing with his 97-year-old sister.
All right now.
we gotta see those.
Married, so I think that was a beautiful thing.
Thank you. Honor, give them their flowers while they can still
Yes.
see them.
Yes, ma'am.
That's right. All righty. There are no others. I turn it back to you.
Any more items for city council consideration? Any items for the next agenda in June? Any questions or comments? I like this meeting.
Announcements?
Announcements? Any announcements? Anyone? Well, if there be nothing else,
Next slide.
oh, there's
Just
this,
a
oh,
reminder of some
dates.
key dates coming up. I would like to share that on the National Day of Prayer, Mayor Lazaro will be issuing a proclamation for that. And as far as members of the committee or members of our faith community, definitely want to encourage you to attend that. It's going to be at the Freedom Fountain, I believe, at noon. And then the Jacksonville Jamboree is coming up on Saturday, May 5th. And we will also have a one city presence out there. I know Mr. Claiborne and his wife have already volunteered to welcome our guests to the Jamboree. We'll be there distributing some one city bracelets and items, just continuing to promote the campaign. We'll have the one city pledge board. So if any of you would like to volunteer, come out and welcome and greet our guests for an hour or so under the one city banner, just let me know and get your time slot. And of course, don't forget to vote on May 8th.
Get to vote.
Election primary. And as Steve already mentioned, next planning board meeting, May 14th, if there's anything to discuss. And the next homebuyer education class is on May 19th. And just a reminder of our meetings for the year.
Yeah, 4 to go, y'all.
4 to go. Actually, 3. No meeting in
3, no
December.
meeting in December.
We'll let you off the
Way to
hook for
go.
that one.
Yeah.
So, all right.
If there be nothing else, I declare this meeting adjourned.